My name is Matt Folk. I'm a 1991 Purdue Electrical Engineering graduate and President and CEO of Purdue for Life. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the first edition of President's Council full semester of online programming. This fall, we're coming to you so we can stay connected and continue to protect Purdue and you from ongoing COVID-19 concerns. Even though on-campus events may have been canceled, you'll still be able to enjoy the exciting offerings associated with President's Council Annual Weekend, Back to Class, Campus Insider Tours, performances, and more, all from the comfort of your own home. And you can rest assured we will ensure our monthly virtual gatherings will be the next best thing to being here on campus. It's also a perfect time to showcase our new organization, the Purdue for Life Foundation. This organization's name conveys its mission. Just as Purdue was a foundation for the success and happiness of so many Purdue alumni and friends, Purdue for Life is a foundation to build on those experiences and relationships and extend them throughout our post-graduation lives. As President and CEO of Purdue for Life, my role is to consolidate and coordinate the activities, operations, and talents of the Purdue Alumni Association and the Purdue University Development Office. This includes President's Council and the John Purdue Club. We are excited to enter into this new collaborative enterprise which holds great promise for all parties who want to advance Purdue University. As a proud alumnus myself, I'm also former President and CEO of Technology Marketing Corporation, the President of the Boiler Business Exchange, and a member of the John Purdue Club, President's Council, and Purdue Alumni Association. Purdue University has enriched my life, and I am honored to lead this effort designed to deepen your ties to Purdue and strengthen your personal and professional development. United as one, we are building a strategic, collaborative approach for all of our engagement, alumni services, fundraising, and stewardship efforts. Our goal is to deepen the sense of value alumni share through their continued association with the university. We also believe Purdue for Life will lead to new connections and better engagement with the entire alumni population through more coordinated events and communication. Purdue for Life is equally dedicated to becoming your home away from home for resources, information, and opportunities for all ever true alumni and friends to engage with, support, and be enriched by this remarkable university. In the future, the Purdue for Life Foundation will facilitate and expand a lifetime learning curriculum of enrichment and educational support via on-campus and online learning for all Purdue alumni as they progress through their life stages to offer the additional learning updates those different stages may require. Some of you have seen a glimpse of those life learning offerings when we provided a direct link to all our free or discounted university, Purdue Global, Purdue Online, and Alumni Association courses that were offered during the early stages of COVID-19 self-isolation. Additionally, Purdue for Life is working to provide on-campus resources, on-campus alumni living, and even retirement options. I look forward to sharing those ambitious plans in greater detail over the course of our next few months. In the meantime, until we can gather together again on campus, around the country, and around the world, we hope our monthly virtual gatherings will educate, inspire, and entertain the Purdue community. This is just the beginning of Purdue for Life's work to demonstrate, deliver, and fulfill the vision of Purdue experiences that last a lifetime. And we believe it is a great foundation for the future. But for now, on with the show. Up next is an interview with Purdue President Mitch Daniels. Boiler up, hail Purdue. So Mitch, with so many changes taking place on campus, what are your themes and priorities for the semester this year at Purdue University?
Our top 10 priorities are all about those changes that have taken place, which is that long list of things we've done and will do to try to make sure that we can operate the campus at all, that 40,000 plus students can come here and study under conditions of safety for them, for the faculty and staff. But it's been a massive undertaking all summer, and will certainly be every day of this fall our number one concern.
So Purdue was one of the first universities to announce that they were going to try and do in-person classes this fall. We've really been out in front on that effort. What led you to believe that Purdue was such a special place that we could get that accomplished?
It was less about Purdue being special, although it is, than about the data and the science, which emerged 2 or 3 months into the pandemic, showing that while older people and people suffering from various ailments were at very serious risk, healthy young people, the kind who make up over 80% of the population on and around this campus, are at almost zero lethal risk. In fact, they're at greater risk literally driving to campus than they will be from this virus. If we had not seen that data, we probably couldn't have opened it all, because safety has to be our first concern. Year in, year out, this campus is rated, and West Lafayette as a city are rated as one of the safest places to go to school, and we want to keep it that way. So that was the pivotal moment, and from that point on, we began building a strategy based on protecting those who are more vulnerable, our faculty, our staff, and all those who make this campus operate. And as for announcing early, some people misconstrued this. We weren't calling on anybody else to make any particular decision. We weren't recommending that others take the course we have taken. It was simply a recognition on our part that if we were going to do this and do this well, we needed every single day. We had to get started as early as April or May, and we did for practical reasons.
Yeah, I mean, there was a huge lead time on this, and we got on it early and hit it hard.
Yeah. If we had procrastinated, and some schools did, until midsummer and then decided that it was the right thing to try to bring students back in person, we wouldn't be nearly as ready as we are.
Right. To date, what have been the biggest challenges as we prepare for students, staff, and faculty to get back to in-person education, and what are the steps we went through to get us to this point?
Yeah. I would say, first of all, to go through all our faculty and staff and try to make sure they are well protected. Well over half of our staff, maybe 4,000 out of 7,000, will be working remotely on any given day this fall. They won't even be here to be at any at risk. Another huge job, I cannot compliment our faculty enough for the way they have made our courses more flexible. A very high percentage of our courses will be at least partially online, and also adaptable, so that a student who might have to stop and be quarantined for a few days won't lose class time, won't lose progress with their course. Done across hundreds and hundreds of courses, that's an enormous undertaking, but the folks in our provost office and our faculty at large have pulled it off. It's really the fact that students in overwhelming percentages want to come back is a tribute to our faculty, and the way the faculty have made that possible in a flexible manner is another one.
Here's a simple question, I think, with probably a lot of answers, but through this process, what's made you the most proud to get to this point?
Can you hold that question for a few weeks? I hope it's going to be the way our students and the entire Purdue community comply with masking and social distancing and monitoring of their own symptoms and all the things we'll need to do to manage through this very difficult time period. I'm certainly proud of our faculty and everyone who's made these dramatic preparations, changes in the way we'll feed and house as well as teach students, the physical facilities people who have secured the parts of the campus and will be continuing to do so in completely new and more careful ways. I can't tell you how proud I am of all that, but what I hope to be proudest of is that a very large community of young people and their elders had the discipline to act in ways that are inconvenient and refrain from behaviors that otherwise would be normal part of college life.
Right. I think the students and faculty that I've seen back all summer have obviously, and especially now as they come back into the fall, have been taking it very seriously, at least while they're on campus. What would you like alumni and friends of the university to know about the Protect Purdue project?
I think first I would like all our alums and friends to know that we made the decision to come back at all very, very carefully, but that having made it, that we've done absolutely everything we can think of, that we are putting the safety of all our Purdue family members first, and that we have spared no expense to do this as well as anybody can. You know, 2,000 or more schools have now made the decision to come back in person. So the question isn't whether that's the right thing to do. You know, we believe it is, absolutely. There are risks involved, but on the other hand, to shut the place down because we are fearful about those risks, and we are, would bring certain damage to people who would lose their jobs, to our surrounding community, which would suffer grievously from our not being here, but most of all to our students, who would see their progress toward successful adult lives interrupted or set back.
I think it's one thing to do this at a small university, but to do this at the sort of scale that we're talking about is a whole nother list of challenges on top of everything else.
I don't think that's escaped our attention.
Yeah. Can you tell us about the new equity task force that the Board of Trustees has put into motion?
Yeah, I think it's a really great initiative. The board has framed the question, I think, in just the right way. What barriers might be there, either visible or structural and less visible, to any member of the Purdue community, particularly minorities, succeeding to their full potential? And what more could we be doing that we're not already doing to make their success more likely? And the board will own this process. One of our great trustees, Don Thompson, agreed to chair it. I think they're going to assemble a first-rate group of experts from the faculty and from across the Purdue family of campuses, including Purdue Global, our online adult campus. And we look forward to receiving their recommendations after a very careful process all fall, in which literally every member of the Purdue family will be invited and welcome to contribute their thoughts, their criticisms, their suggestions.
This fall semester is going to be obviously very different for incoming students from freshman class all the way through senior year. What sort of advice and comments do you have for the student body itself?
I've done a lot of communicating with the student body, or tried to, letters, videos, and where possible, in-person conversations. And told them we don't like it any better than they do. It's a very bad break for them, that at least a part of their Purdue experience will have to happen under these constrained and inconvenient circumstances. I've also told them it won't be the last unfair thing that happens to them in life, and but that we regret it as much as they do, but that we are looking to them to help us get through this. I've also told them to consider the positive aspect, that if we're successful, it will be one of the great collective achievements in university history. And it is an opportunity for unity at a very divided time in our country. Everybody here, every faculty member, every student, every staff person has a role to play and a common interest in getting this right, because all of us will suffer if we have to stop operations again. So maybe that's looking for silver linings, but I think it's a real one.
I can tell you my daughter is coming back, and she's a senior in the School of Nursing here at Purdue, and she and her friends are extremely excited to be getting back, and from my discussions with them, all have committed to take this as seriously as possible and do their best to help the community at large get through this.
Yeah. One thing that has always impressed me about the Purdue students, and I've now met thousands of them personally over 8 years, is that for all their variety and diversity, essentially all of them are interested in doing things to help others. The service projects and the clubs, all our organizations are involved in community service of one kind or another. Well, when have we had a bigger opportunity and all of us to work on the same project than this one? And so I'm optimistic about it, but it'll get old, I know that. We've certainly communicated that to the students too. We know that it'll be hard to maintain, but let's all try.
Mitch, as you know, Purdue for Life is a new organization here on campus, kind of trying to deal with all the alumni-facing organizations and units. Do you have any comments there or thoughts on where you'd like us to be in 6 months, 12 months, a couple years, sort of thing?
I'm just so excited about the Purdue for Life initiative. I have felt for a long time that there's so much more this university ought to do for those who've already been through it. In the 21st century, education will never stop, and so who better to offer lifelong education to those who will need it to enrich their lives and enhance their careers than we are. And so finding a way to do a whole lot better to connect with 500,000 Purdue alums and maintain that contact, deepen it over time. It just seems to me the modern university has that opportunity, really has that duty. And so that's what Purdue for Life offers to me, offers the potential to be. And I've been hopeful now for years that we would get to something like it, and I'm so glad to see it come into being.
Purdue Day of Giving is September 9th this year, and our theme is Meet the Challenge. What are your goals for the university as we move through that process on that 24-hour period?
Purdue Day of Giving is the premier such event in the country, has been since its very first year. It breaks its own record and sets a national standard every year. What year more important to do it? Like so much else, it got disrupted, moved to the fall because of the pandemic. I hope that even at a difficult economic time, Boilermakers everywhere will step up as they have before. We are spending a lot of money we never expected to spend to try to make this campus safe and secure. And there are a lot of students that need as much help as ever at a difficult economic time to afford to come to Purdue. So we're always excited when it comes around. This year is a year, here and everywhere, of special challenge, and I hope friends of Purdue will recognize that.
Any other general comments for President's Council members or our alum in particular?
Well, I hope our alums have noticed that your university continues to be recognized. We once again made the top 5 in the country in terms of value. We're in year 8 of what will be at least 9 years of no increase in tuition. We will continue to do, even through the current difficulties, everything we can to make this place affordable and accessible so that literally every student from every background who can meet our academic standards can go on to the kind of great lives that I know you're leading. So I hope that you feel that we've been good stewards of your university, and that you'll continue to send us not just your encouragement, but your ideas about how we can do steadily better.
Well, thank you, Mitch. I appreciate the time you've taken to speak directly to us here today, and I know you're extremely busy with your schedule and getting everything ramped up for this fall. So I know from the alumni standpoint, we all want to thank you for the effort, and the vast majority of the folks I've talked to are 100% behind, Purdue trying to get this thing done right and get the quality of education done properly with our students this fall. So thank you.
I enjoyed it. Boiler up.